Hey Gemini, come on in, sit for a spell. It's that time. We are going to dive into your 2026 predictions read. This is for any strong Gemini placement. If you have a prominent placement in the third house, or if you are Sagittarius rising, which makes you a Gemini descendant. And we're just going to jump right into it with getting your theme. I'm opening with the Herbal Astrology Oracle to get your theme for 2026, to just see what's coloring your landscape as you step boldly into the energy of this new year. Okay. Maybe you're biding your time before you can enter it so boldly. I feel there's something that requires a little bit of patience as you make some determinations. This could relate to resolving something that connects to your past, and it might require you to invoke some strength before you can be so bold to head into this territory and overcome something that was holding you back for a while. And that came in at 111 on the clock. So that's a synchronicity for you that you should be on the lookout for. When you see that sequence come in 1111, 111, this is letting you know that the time to act is drawing near. And there may be some kind of hints when you spot those synchronicities as to what kind of action you need to take or what direction you should be heading into here. And it is coming in with the energy of Saturn and Venus. So there's more love, more beauty that you want to weave into your life. And you feel like you've been doing a pretty long stretch of the drudgery, you know? Just one foot in front of the other, minding the business before you, not trying to get too far ahead of yourself. But now is the time when you do need to maybe exercise just a little bit more discipline, following through with wrapping up. It feels like wrapping up an old cycle, wrapping up something from the past that still has a little bit of work to be done in that area before something's complete and you're free to step boldly into that love and beauty that's ready to come into your life. There's something that could benefit from a little calm, quiet space where you can clear your thoughts. You can get into a more meditative space. I think that a lot of answers will come when you create that space where you can just be quiet and you can settle into what it is you're picking up here. Because I do think that you're feeling the call to set in motion in a new direction. We do have this horse energy coming through there. So I do feel like it's just a matter of time before you're moving forward in a very powerful way. I do sense like there's some kind of boldness in relation to the direction you're going to be heading into, but it's not quite time yet. There's a matter from the past that needs to be resolved. There could be a Leo connected to this. There could be a Capricorn connected, or a Taurus or Libra that's connected to this situation that involves a little bit more patience as you're finally ironing out all the details, bringing something to completion, but it will be go time soon. I really feel that for you, Gemini. Okay, let's get some more details here for Gemini. What's coming in is going to bring a lot more balance into your life where you may have felt that that's been lacking. I do feel like you're going to be moving forward in a way that it feels like finally, like the wind's back in my sails. That's just kind of the energy I pick up around you. And there is something that is very bold about it, maybe unexpected about the direction you're heading into. And as I'm saying that, I'm looking over and I'm just noticing on the back of this Uno playing card deck. I got this on discount. I picked this up and it says reduced. You see double eights here, okay? So 8 is all about power. It's about power. It's also about the position you hold. It has a lot to do with your inner power, but also the power that you kind of flex in outer reality. It can have a lot to do with your assets, your status. And there's something here that maybe it did rock that foundation a little bit. Maybe it sort of broke a mold in terms of parameters that were put around the definition of who you are, what you're capable of, and your role in your own life. And I do feel like you've been sort of blowing people's minds with some of the courses of action that you've been taking, or where you did sort of break from the pack and you chose to go your own way. Yeah, you're about to head into your rebirth cycle, okay? So that's why there's need for a little patience here. There could be a Scorpio that's connected to this, a Sagittarius, a Pisces, okay? I do feel like there will be something that starts to come in for you that's giving you clues about what you need to shed here with the new moon in Capricorn that's coming in this Sunday, the 18th. So do be on the lookout for that, because it signals what needs to change. This is when something's going to become very clear for you about where you need to set your sights moving forward. I do see you starting to move slowly and thoughtfully into that energy of the Fool. But when it comes time to act, you're going to do so in a big, bold way, okay? There could be a Taurus that's factoring into this situation strongly too. This could have something to do also with just your own personal value set, what you value, what's meaningful for you, not letting anybody else sort of define that for yourself. And there's something that you are shedding here. You're shedding an old identity. You may be shedding certain people from your life, certain people that you've seen a different side of them that you weren't aware of. This is coming in pretty strongly with Scorpio energy here. I think that your time moving through the territory of the Pluto transits really did reveal a lot to you that maybe at certain times you weren't so ready to see, but you acknowledge it needed to be seen. I think ultimately it puts you back into a position of inner authority in your life. And the rebirth is about to come, okay? So soon it's going to be time to step into that energy of the Fool. But there's just like a little bit more patience needed here to properly close something out that is something that's been holding you back in a sense. It's like kind of tethering you to the past. And it may involve one final tower just with that 88 energy. It's like this needs to be reduced. The tower moments need to be reduced in your life. There's been too many shakeups, too much that's rocked the stability, too much that's rocked the foundation. You've had enough big major changes that you've kind of had to deal with as the result of other people's choices. I think it's your turn, you know? That's kind of what I'm feeling here. It's your turn to bring a tower. Woo! Yes. But right now, look at this. It's all about the preparation. It's all about just hibernating a little bit longer, moving into this space of retreat so you can really tap into your personal wisdom. And this is coming in with the energy signature of 9. Okay, so when I look at this 9 energy, it makes me think, first of all, the 9th house of Sagittarius. So certainly there could be a Sagittarius connected to your situation, but I also feel like this is just your desire to kind of like live life on your own terms, create your own philosophy of life. You want to move away from what's been destabilizing or what's been uprooting, what's just been plain no fun. I mean, that's kind of how it's coming through. It's been a little bit of a damper. It's been some heavy vibes. And I feel like you're in this space where you're like, I'm ready to move into optimism. I mean, that was rough back there, but I do have a little bit of this comeback kid spirit around your energy. And I think you're ready to see something new come into view. I mean, the energy's coming in with Jupiter and the sun. So, I mean, you very well could be dealing with a Sagittarius in regard to this situation. You might have some important choices to make in regard to a Sagittarius or in relation to these issues. Now, when we're looking at that Sagittarian energy, that does deal with like our philosophy of life. It deals with more spiritual matters, kind of heading into unknown territory, exploring the lost frontier, you could say, invoking a little pioneering spirit. So you might be in a space where you're really strongly considering, am I ready to go my own way in a direction, sort of find my own way too. Maybe there's somebody here that you need a little space from. Maybe you need a little time of retreat to just get into your own energy, your own essence before you make choices about what you're investing in 2026. This may involve going on a little trip here, you know, maybe it's a trip in the mind. This could even be when you create space. I'm noticing Virgo energy here too with the grizzly bear. They are the grizzly bear on the medicine wheel. It's also very much like a guardian energy. It's the guardian of the West. So the West is the area of the emotions and the creativity. And there's a real indication here when you bring in that bear medicine, it's not just protective of these things, protective of your creative energy, protective of your emotions, and knowing when it's appropriate for you to really let somebody into these intimate spaces, perhaps because you've dealt with some degree of violation when it came to your intimacy. 10:44 on the clock, 18 total there. Yes, and it comes back to 9. So there could be an initiation you're going through where maybe you used to be teamed up with another, but now you're heading through a particular stretch of the road that only you can go. And it's because there was something that was concealed from you and it's been revealed. And now it's time for you to discover the light that's on the other side of this passage through the unknown that you're heading through, okay? And that's coming in with 11:18 on the clock. So while you may feel like there's a lot that's unknown right now, or there's a lot that's hidden from you, ultimately this does lead you to your own sense of balance, alignment, justice in your life. 11:33 on the clock. It will also bring a lot of helpful allies your way. And I do feel like you're just about to make up your mind here and move out of indecision. Absolutely. Your chariot comes with the full moon that will arrive on the scene in the sign of Leo on February 1st. But see, right now you're kind of in this dreamy sort of Neptunian territory where you are working with that archetype of the moon in tarot. You're sort of sorting through what's illusory, what's true for me. You're very much diving into soul matters here. You're diving into your intuition. You're starting to dip your toes into the unknown, but you are getting prepared to really give yourself over to it with passion and dive right in. There might be something here though first about really just like calming everything down, because I do feel like there's been some activation here, and that activation could have worn you thin a little bit. So fill your cup, give yourself a little restoration, tend to the nervous system, get some good rest, hibernate a bit, maybe pull your energy back from feeling like you always have to be out mingling with the crowd. Allow yourself to have some private space, because I think when you have that private space, there's a lot of information that comes through for you. There's a lot of calibration that happens that really puts you in harmony with your own energy, your own essence. And I do feel like there's sort of this sense that your energy's been branched out for a while, kind of really tapped into other people. And maybe that's because you've played a role where you were sort of at the hub of things and a lot of people relied on you, depended on you, and you've had a lot of outside energies pulling on you. But I really feel like your empowerment comes from kind of turning within right now and having this time of retreat. So I kind of want to see what's on the other side of this retreat as your theme, because it feels to me like you're really being prepped for something here, Gemini. So let me get some more details about that for you, just to really hone in this view. I think there is kind of more of a need for this as you move forward into 2026, creating more space for yourself. Ooh, beautiful. Yeah, you're preparing to bloom here. You will take action. You're going to leave behind sort of like an old version of yourself that I feel like this old version of yourself, it was too weighed down by the projections of others. It's like this is you really moving into that state of individuation. You're taking a step forward here, and you're going to bring a lot to bloom in your life that right now is just seeding. So this is coming in with the energy of metamorphosis, also coming in with the energy of seventh house, the seventh house of Libra. So this could be what's really changing for you, your idea of what it means to be in love with someone, what it means to merge your life with another. Who are you in your relationship, and where do you sometimes get lost and you move out of that state of individuation, which absolutely has a place within a relationship, whether that relationship is based on romance or that relationship is more business and it's a partnership where you're building something with another. But there's something here where you didn't really get to step into your full essence in your own right. And I think that's what you're really ready to bring forward here. So I feel like this is a seeding point for you. There's also Cancerian energy here. So I feel like there will come a time when you're going to step into your blessings. You're going to find where you really belong, what road is right for you, what people you want to have around you, what's your origin point of belonging. And that may require you to look back at the origin of where you came from, okay? So you could be doing like a lot of deep integration work from stuff that ties to the past, but I do feel like an old identity is falling away from you here. And there's a complete transformation that's happening in you. You're releasing an old creative cycle. You're also letting go of any bad blood. Like you're not holding on to any resentment as you move forward. This is a really good energy. I just see this as a lot of growth and a lot of transformation, metamorphosis. So yes, you're finally like cleansing away this energy that's really been cloaking your energy, your essence. That's how it's coming through. I mean, maybe you were in a situation where another had more of the spotlight, another had more of the attention. The focus was more on the other. And now I feel like you're kind of putting yourself first. You're letting your own field of dreams come into bloom in 2026. And this is totally unguarded. Like you're not wearing any masks here. You're showing up as you are. And there's so much growth that's going to come from this. It's a really beautiful energy. Do be aware that not everybody is going to agree with your choices. I mean, you have to anticipate this, especially bringing in that house of Libra. It also brings in open enemies and these sort of places where there can be warring energies, conflict, people that are at odds with your choices. But I'm here to tell you that you're moving forward in a very bold, beautiful way that is a demonstration of the integration of the territory you've been moving through. And it's absolutely a validation of your growth. And I feel like that is going to be recognized in what people see coming through you at this time, okay? This cycle is kicking off for you with this new moon in Capricorn that's coming up on Sunday. This is like the last little stages as you prepare to come up from that time of rest and integration and all the sorting through the kind of shadowy stuff to have your moment in the sun when you're really going to shine. That came in at 17:44 on the clock. 8:44 is another 888. Okay, so 88 is another synchronicity for you in terms of when you're really ready to step into the manifestation that is now possible as a result of all this integrative work you've done. But like I said, it might take some people by surprise the direction you're moving in. Ooh, oh man, this is beautiful. Your energy coming forward really strong. You have activated the magician within you. And I do see there's 2 roses here. So you're really understanding what love means to you, what the sweetness of the bloom means for you, and who you are meant to partner with here too. And that could be what's unexpected, who you're partnering with. It's coming in with Uranian energy and Jupiterian energy. So we got some Aquarian energy in the mix there. We also have the energy of Sagittarius and Pisces, okay? And this is you stepping into your power too with the energy signature of 40 here. It breaks down to 4. That's the Emperor. There could be an Aries on the scene. You're stepping into a brand new cycle. It is the energy of the Fool. And this is when those dreams that you've had during this time, that's really kicking off with the new moon coming in here. You're going to be doing a lot of dreaming. You're entering into this sort of, territory here where you're seeding your future with what you're meditating on, what you're focusing on. And that's why I think it's so important for you to preserve this space. But it's you flowing in a brand new way. It's merging the energy of Saturn, with the energy of Neptune. So Saturn in Pisces. You've really embraced the right measure of allowing space to dream, but recognizing nothing's going to be handed to me on a silver platter. I have to apply some discipline. There's some work that I need to do to root my dreams into being, but I think you're getting really clear about the coordinates of these dreams so you can align your compass and get yourself heading due north here. Also, if you were dealing with any illusions or if you were dealing with any situations where addiction was playing a role, I do see you really getting a grasp of this and maybe taking some steps to bring a little bit more discipline into this area too. Now, for those who have histories of addictive tendencies, this may be finding some kind of support group or getting into some kind of counseling. And maybe that's needed right now. Maybe there was a time when you were able to kind of pull away from that. Maybe you've been in recovery for a long time, and yet there's a lot of changes that have happened here where it could benefit you to have a little bit added support as you step into what's up ahead, okay? That's not coming through for everybody, but it is coming through for somebody, okay? So if you know that that's part of your path, or if you're dealing with somebody who has an addiction, that as well, it can have a really big effect on the person who's navigating that territory with somebody else who's struggling with some kind of addictive behavior. There can be a lot of codependency that come in dynamics around that, but what people often forget, and it was 21:21 on the clock around that. So yes, you know, I do feel like this is something that's being brought to successful completion. There's a new beginning on the other side. But as you prepare to step into that new beginning, don't undervalue creating the space to maybe drop in with a support group or to drop in with a counselor or drop in with a trusted ally, you know, somebody who knows how to hold space for you respectfully and, you know, just sort of allow yourself to feel that kind of support and also to help bring in the clarity as you step boldly into this brand new future with the energy of the Fool. Okay, looks like really good energy here for you. I like it. A lot of dreaming you're doing in this space, opening up to the year. Looks like it kind of comes to a crescendo with the Leo full moon on the 1st. You could be dealing with a Leo here. And yeah, this is what's up ahead. Rebirth, okay? We come to it again. Nothing is going to stay the same. This is a brand new cycle for you. You've completely changed. Ooh, and I like this. You're embracing your own sensuality here with Mandrake. You're recovering your own brand of magic and you're awakening into a new expression of sensuality too. So this could even be a renewal of that energy in a relationship where you've been dealing with some difficulties. You're leaving a difficult cycle behind you. You're connecting with each other in a new way. This can be just really getting in touch with your own senses, what you feel, what works for you, what feels good to you. And also going out there and exploring that, opening yourself up to the exploration of your sensuality and maybe with somebody quite unexpected, somebody you never expected to partner with here, okay? Very cool energy. Well, on that note, let's dive into your love. Love for Gemini in 2026. Split of the deck, you see. You got that moon energy right there. So there is something that you're sorting through. There's a lot that remains hidden, but I do feel like it really lights up for you. The road lights up for you by the time you arrive at that full moon in Leo on the 1st of February. Now, you very well could be dealing with a Leo in this situation, or another fire sign energy, Aries, Sagittarius. There might be something you're unsure of at this point in relation to a fire sign energy, somebody who holds a lot of fire. You may be considering using your fire to light up a landscape where there's been too much concealed in matters of the heart. You really want to understand what's going on here. And that came in at 24, double sixes, 12. That breaks down to 3, the Empress. There could be some kind of connection to a Taurus or a Libra in relation to this, your energy coming through very strongly and needing to make some kind of decision here. You need to make a decision in love. Okay, it might be really figuring out, what are you passionate for? Who are you passionate for? And where is somebody keeping too much concealed that makes it impossible to really bridge that gap and move a relationship forward? And that can really sabotage matters of the heart, where you feel like somebody is keeping things hidden from you. You might suspect this. This might have you a little bit more in your independent energy, I have to say. You might be invoking more of that fiery, independent energy at this time because of that. You know, you're just a little uncertain in matters of the heart, okay? I think that family is really important to you. I mean, I think ultimately you would like to be building with someone. I think it's important for you to have stability on the home front. If you're in a marriage or a serious committed relationship, you know, you want the foundation to be strong. And those of you who are single, I'm sure would like to have that kind of connection. You want something solid. You don't want something that is really changeable or vague or undefinable. You're looking for something you can really count on. And I do feel like family is really important to you. So when we look at love, family can come in too, as can close friends. Okay. So I feel like this is the basis of the matter. Yeah. And there's something here where you're feeling a little indecisive. You may feel like your hands are tied and you don't know what to do. And this is because there's just too much going on in the headspace. There's a need to really clear your head, clear your thoughts, and maybe stop asking so many other people for their opinion or their input. That can become very confusing too. And I think that's why you need this retreat space to sort of pull your energy back a little bit. There could be somebody here in this scenario too that feels like they feel restricted in a commitment. It might be that one of you is really wanting to create that family life. One of you is really desiring a more traditional kind of relationship where maybe there is marriage involved, or at the very least creating household together. Maybe blending families could be an issue. And the other may feel like, man, that's just fencing me in. Like, I don't want that. So this could be something that's creating a little bit of clash in the love department as well. Let's see what we got here. Oof. And with that, there's that King of Wands in reverse, okay? So this is somebody who's like, yeah, I want what I want. So somebody in this scenario is very controlling. And they might be a bit egocentric. They might feel like it's their way or the highway. And this can also be somebody who, you know, they don't care if they're in a commitment. They're going to do what they want to do, all right? I mean, this is somebody who's misusing their fire. I see that, okay? You may have caught somebody too, or you may catch somebody slipping, and you may call them out on that. If you're dealing with somebody that you feel is very defensive, there could be aspects of that in play, you know? It doesn't have to be with like stepping out on the relationship either, in terms of like hooking up with another person romantically. It can also be this person's hiding something from you and you know it, because when you try to talk to them, try to get them to open up, they get really reactive, you know, really reactive. And again, there's something here about commitment is playing a strong role in this. Oof. I think, yeah, there's somebody here that you're starting to feel like, at one point, you thought this person was your North Star. That's kind of how it's coming through. There's somebody here that at one point you thought, for sure, this is it. This is the person that, you know, I'm going to have a future with. But there's something here that's making you feel like too often you're kind of wandering through the real shadowy stuff with this person rather than getting to what you thought was going to be the full potential of a connection. It's how it's coming through, okay? And sometimes we go through territory like this with soulmates. It doesn't mean that they weren't a soulmate. It doesn't mean that they weren't an important person in our life. Sometimes they come to help us heal something, and that requires going through some really rough, gnarly bits with each other. But I feel like you're not feeling very optimistic about this Wands energy, okay? This can even be a feminine, okay, that's really acting out of the masculine more because maybe they feel like they've had to adopt that role. They haven't felt like they've had the support of a masculine that they can lean on, you know? And so they feel like they're playing both roles. And in doing so, it's made the fire come forward in a very frustrated, agitated way. Like, just leave me alone. I can handle it on my own. This kind of energy. And something's not at peace here, but it's because there's some kind of integrative healing work that needs to be done. So again, I'm going to say, like, if you feel like you need a time out or you need a little retreat to get clear, 33 on the clock, that could be very helpful. There's something about getting back into your own energy, and maybe if you do need to talk it out with somebody, maybe go talk to a counselor or go to a support group rather than pulling on the opinions of friends, family members who could cloud things further. This is coming in with Aquarian energy. For it to come out strongly with the Wands energy here, there could also be a Leo rising that's connected to this situation. And somebody here is too controlling. That's what I'm really feeling. They're too controlling. And the energy just feels too combative. There's a lot of conflict around this. And I see this is what the foundation is. And this is what you want to preserve very clearly, you know, the stability, the rootedness, the grounding. I feel like you're pulling more from the earth in your chart. You're like, what do we need to do to get this back to where it was supposed to be? And you may be coming to the determination, it might require you to branch out on your own and look in another direction. Let me get one more round of these for you in relation to love. Okay, so something's in flux, especially in terms of love. And this doesn't just apply to your romantic relationships, but all the people that you hold dear. I feel like something's really changing here. And for a while, you might need to separate yourself from a group of people. You might need to go your own way. And that might feel a little confusing, but look, that is a very bold, powerful action for you to take. And it's an action that actually moves you on up in terms of the upliftment of your energy. And I do feel like there's some new beginning that's going to come in the fall of 2026. It could involve a Sagittarius, but it's almost like after there's been some kind of transformation. And I also feel like this is your time to move away from energies that are dragging the love inside of you down. Like, I do feel like there's this love that you hold within you, and it's just really rooted and grounded in your being. And you know what you're looking to cultivate in your relationships, and you know what you're not. And you don't want to deal with somebody who's too controlling, or it's all about them, or where you have to play both roles and you just feel like you're always sort of wandering through the valley of the shadow, left in the dark, don't know what's going on with that person. Everything feels uncertain. You don't want to live like that anymore. So I think there's a strong action you're taking here. I do think you're bringing your fire forward. You may have been in this position where you had to bring your fire forward first in excess because of the situation you were in a relationship with another. I mean, if you're dealing with somebody who's very controlling or very combative, you know, that may have required you to really move into that position. And at first, bringing your fire forward when you were trying to deal with something in a really grounded way, you know, maybe the fire had been pressurized for a long time. So it kind of came up and out and, you know, it might have shocked people. But I think ultimately this is good for you. I do see you reclaiming your magic. I do feel like you're really getting back into your own energy again. I think you're reigniting your fire and you're not relying on another to bring that to you. But if you have been dealing with a Sagittarius, there could be something that has a new beginning in the fall in relation to this person, just for that owl to come on through there. And maybe an offer comes through as well, judgment around that, okay? Ace of Pentacles energy. I do see a nest egg here, okay? So there is this energy of new beginnings coming in for you in love. And also, if you are wanting a better family life, if you are wanting to have more closeness with those you share a home with, if you're wanting to get your nest egg together and have more stability so you can have the kind of relationship you want to have, and you can just be in that space where you're real cozy with someone and nesting with someone. I do think that somebody is going to be offering a commitment, a solid commitment, and this is a judgment in your favor. Now, when an ace comes through, it's up to you if you invest in it. Just because it's offered doesn't mean you're going to follow through with it, but I like this. You got an Ace of Wands, you got an Ace of Pentacles, so where you do feel like you need to push the envelope a little bit and maybe really strike out on your own and take a strong stand and come from your fire and head toward what really makes you burn with passion or brings the enthusiasm back for you, or it's just really a clear representation of, hey, I value myself, I respect myself, and I don't need to continue to put up with any of this kind of mess. And if you're going to leave me in the dark, and if you're going to leave me in this place where it's very vague and I don't know what's going on, that's okay. I can light up my own path. I can carry that lantern of the hermit, and I can go forward in the direction that I feel inspired to go in. And I do feel like that's a big, bold move that will lead you exactly to where you belong. There's something about really rooting that vision that you desire, that sense of home, that sense of connection. People who really do want to invest in you, like this is going to come through for you. See the first inklings of this arrive on the scene, showing that you did make the right judgment call to stand up for yourself and to strike out on your own. There's some kind of vindication moment coming through that lets you know that you did right by yourself. And because of that, something's going right for you. Something's falling into a state of balance here, and you got a new offer on the table coming in from the quarter of love, and it's legitimate with an Ace of Pentacles, but it's up to you if you want to invest in this, okay? Let me do a cut the deck. So it could be an opportunity for renewal in a connection, all right? Or it could be a totally brand new connection. I mean, the offer may be made, but I don't know if you're going to want it. It looks like you're ready to explore new horizons. I mean, that's what I see. Got the Four of Cups to the Eight of Cups. All right, so I feel like you're walking away from something that no longer fulfills you. And whatever judgment this is, I do feel like there's indication that you're heading in the right direction. It comes in first in spring, because there's some kind of opportunity that comes your way. And I think it's that opportunity that presents you with a choice. Do you accept the love that you've been given up to this point? Okay. Or do you turn your attention towards something new that's being presented here that will bring inspiration back into your life? And what I see is that you're facing your fears and you're crossing a bridge, and you're also letting all the old stuff just be water under the bridge. And this is really coming to a head with the full moon. You're totally giving yourself over to the transformation. You're not avoiding the pain. You're not avoiding any of the emotions connected to the experience. I do see you're really allowing yourself to feel all of it, and you're finally like letting it go. So something's coming to a close where there was indecision. You weren't quite sure what you should do here. You're making up your mind. And this is when you really get your power back. And I do feel this is the opening of a bold new chapter for you, because you can make it whatever you like. It can be the stuff of your dreams. This is my If Wishes Were Horses, the Dreamers Would Ride card. So there's a dream activating for you. So where you've been dealing with some rough stuff in the area of love, this is your year of transformation. And it's about you finding what you truly desire, what you truly want. I like it. It's good energy for you, okay? Let's look at money for Gemini. Looking at money for Gemini in 2026. What is coming in the area of finances, business, money, manyan for Gemini in 2026. What is coming in for Gemini in finances, money, business in 2026? I mean, it looks like, just judging from the energy presented so far, it's looked like you're taking the reins back in your life and you're calling the shots, okay? After a time of dealing with somebody else who is kind of putting you in a position that, you know, is cramping your style. It required you to just sort of accept the ambiguity in a situation, accept less than you really desired. You were feeling really hemmed in, maybe even controlled in some cases. And it just wasn't it, man. Okay, so I really feel like you're stepping into a position of power here. And certainly that could apply to your business objectives too, to your finances, okay? In connection to that, just sort of coming in off the tail end of the love sector, there might be some dividing of assets. If you were in a serious committed relationship and there's something you're getting ironed out here, balancing out here. Yeah, this is related to something that is closing out. There might be like some legal stuff to sort through. This can even be the dissolving of a business partnership, a financial arrangement. Maybe you were giving somebody some kind of financial support and now you recognize, no, you know, it's time for you to step up to the plate and handle that yourself. I got to start investing in me, you know. So there is something that is transforming here. It's interesting. I see this like Hierophant energy here kind of saying, please, just this last time, okay? So there could be somebody that has had too much authority in your life who has been, you know, kind of working an angle a little too long here. And I do feel it's like time's up. You might be moving away from like more of a corporate position or a job that just, again, I don't know, I got this vibe, like just cramping your style and you want to get free of that. You might be more entrepreneurial minded. You might want to head in a direction of your own. There might be something that you're reinventing here too. Those of you that are business owners, you might be heading into a totally new line of work and there's like some legalities involved in closing the old business and setting something new in motion too. You may feel like, I really want to be free of that old business, you know, it's just really starting to weigh me down. So I see there's some kind of change coming in how you earn money here. Some of you are leaving corporate jobs because it doesn't pour into you in the way that's becoming increasingly necessary as you head into the future here. Yeah, I do feel like you're changing jobs here. Okay, with the Ace of Pentacles in reverse, you recognize that something's really out of balance here. You're setting your sights for the future. You want to move in a new direction. And I think this is something you're considering right now. But I do feel like there's something you need to take care of in relation to your finances and assets. This can be, like I said, like divvying up assets if you were in a business partnership or a serious relationship where the finances were really intertwined. There may be like some kind of financial loss you're navigating initially too, especially if you've been kind of in a certain line of work for a long time, but now you recognize, wow, everything's changing in the world. Like this isn't a fertile direction anymore. Like this is going to continue to cause me losses financially. I need to pivot at this point. I need to do something different. 43 on the clock. I think that is very much true. Double sevens, 14. Something needs to be shifted a little bit here to iron out the finances. Also, there needs to be some balancing of the books, balancing of the budget. And there is some impression here that somebody has just been taking like a little too much from you. And I feel like you're really holding the line with that person saying, hey, it's time for you to kind of like step up to the plate because I don't have it to give anymore. Maybe there's been some kind of loss in business. Maybe there just hasn't been the usual sales. You've been experiencing the rough side of the downturn in the economy. And so you're looking at different routes of exploration here. Somebody may put an offer on the table too. This could be in relation to a new career opportunity, or a new kind of offer being put on the table in regard to like a financial settlement. This can even be like somebody wanting to like buy out, you know, your shares of investment in a business or something in relation to that. And I think it's like, no, go back again. Like that's not going to work. Okay. So I can see these are some things you're grappling through. I mean, I think ultimately you're going to have the road cleared where you've been dealing with these financial challenges, and you're going to have the authority put back in your hand to sort of like chart your own course here. You're going to be heading in a new direction. Whatever work you've been doing, there's something you're changing up here for sure. I see that. There's a new way for you to earn money that's going to be a lot more beneficial for you. But first, it requires you closing something out. And that's kind of what's holding you back right now with the world in reverse. All right. The road will open once you close something out, but there might be something, there's a little bit back and forth, but it's in process and you will get to the other side of it. So this looks like you're leaving a job or you're closing a business. You're ending a certain financial arrangement and you're heading in a new direction, but it might be a little frustrating because there's sort of some real stuck energy you're pushing through here. You may be dealing with people who are a little stubborn in their position. They don't want to give any, you know, very combative. You could be dealing with a Taurus, a Scorpio, an Aquarius, or a Leo in this situation, right? And something needs to change. This world needs to turn. I think you're pulling out investment in this direction, and you're ironing something out so you can head down a road that's really more inspired and feels like it's more in alignment for you. And it's time has come. Like this can't work anymore. That's what I really feel. So you're changing your work. Give me more details about how that's going to turn out for Gemini in 2026, please. Gemini makes these changes in work. How's it going to work out for Gemini? Any more details here? Okay, we're going to do a cut of the deck on this. Oh, look at that. Bottom of the deck. You're going to be successful here with the Six of Wands. I think you'll be doing your little victory lap, you know. You'll be back on top in no time. You know, there might have been like some losses in profits or something, but there's something you're switching up here with your work, and it will pay off, but there's something that definitely needs to be ironed out first here. There's some kind of conflict. Also, there's something you need to do here to get ahead of the competition. You might be in a very competitive field here. And of course, you know, the job market has really shifted too. So if you've put in some applications and you're just like, why am I not getting any calls back? I can't even land myself an interview. I think it's just because of the climate. There's like so many people out there jockeying for the same position, okay? But I see you being successful ultimately. And you will move away from a time of troubles here. It's just going to take some time to sort this out. And it certainly could be in relation to sorting out like a blended family issue, like I was bringing up, a relationship issue. Some of you have children, you know, and you've been footing the bill, you know, for the care of the kids. And it's like, hey, you're the parent too. Like you need to step up to the plate as well. But I like this. You're back in your power here with the King of Pentacles, and you're back on your game. So I do feel like you're going to get to the other side of this. You'll be able to negotiate this, and it will turn out in your favor. If you've been looking for work, you will edge out the competition eventually. There are indications that you're getting to the other side of kind of like a rough time in relation to your finances and work. But it might be a little time before this comes through, okay? So I feel like this is more something that's going to come through maybe in March. I mean, that is when you did have like the Ace of Pentacles came out upright, right? You do have an Ace of Pentacles coming in, so springtime, okay? Maybe when you finally move away from these troubles and you have a new way of moving forward, okay? I want to stick with this deck for a minute because I'm digging this deck. Let's look at your health, Gemini. What is Gemini's health looking like for 2026, Spirit? What is Gemini's health looking like for 2026? Show me Gemini's health in 2026. What is Gemini's health looking like in 2026? Okay, bottom of the deck. I think that you're exploring different options when it comes to your health. You're going to take some kind of new approach here. Maybe you're learning about a new treatment protocol or a way to address something that's been a health issue for you. And you're exploring this. You're learning more about it. It seems like it's something you're looking into first before you give yourself fully over to it. So let's see what this is. I also feel like there's a lot you're learning about the health changes you want to bring in 2026. And you're sort of in the beginning stages of mapping out a new, it's not like regimen, okay? So you might be integrating some things like fitness and dietary changes, and you might be working with some different practitioners too. You might be formulating your team, you know? Who's going to be there to be my team to support me in turning my health around? So this can be maybe, oh, that's a really interesting piece coming in there. It's more like, you know, instead of you just sort of accepting a prognosis or a treatment protocol that's outlined for you, it's got the vibe almost of you like interviewing, you know, different medical professionals, holistic healthcare providers, and doing your own research and you putting your own team together. I like that. It's like you're really taking charge of your health here, but this may require you to do some research and also you to interview some people and not just accept at face value a certain diagnosis or a certain treatment protocol that's outlined for you. You want to do your research here. That's what I feel. And you also want to make sure that you line up with the right people. You may have been working with a particular treatment approach or health approach that you're like, yeah, you know, I know maybe a lot of people feel this works for them. It doesn't work for me. I want to do something different, and you're exploring that. I don't like it. Yep. Like it. Your energy is coming through really strongly. This was covered. It flipped up beneath this card. So let's see what this card is. Ooh, okay. You're finding the right team here. Okay. This could be somebody that really knows their stuff. All right. You may find the right fit here with the Emperor. It's coming in with strong Aries energy. I think this is a winning combination. Also, I look at Aries energy. That is willing to try something new, willing to do something out of the box. It's also about individuation. So I feel like there may be something you're doing here where you're like, I'm going to trust my own instincts in relation to this. Now, as I'm bringing this in, I'm not telling you to abandon any kind of medical protocol or treatment plan that's in place or your medical care provider, none of that, okay? But I'm just showing where you're kind of at here. You're really stepping into your own position of inner authority when it comes to knowing what's going on with your health, knowing what's going on with your body, knowing what works, knowing what doesn't, knowing if something's off, even if you got somebody who's in a position of authority saying, oh no, there's nothing going on there. And you're like, no, I know there's something going on here. And I'm going to look into it. And I'm going to find somebody who will actually listen to me and partner with me when it comes to my health and helping me overcome these challenges I'm facing. I do feel like you find the right person here. Your health is going to be in a really good place. And it has something to do with somebody you're teaming up with here. So this is good. Also, it's coming in. So I do want to bring this in terms of relationship dynamics where there's been challenges in a relationship. This would be more a relationship that's a very serious, committed relationship, like you live together or you're married, okay? Or you have a blended family. in these cases, there may be something you're bringing in terms of a mediator or a counselor in this situation. And I think there's a way that you can work things out where you both feel like, okay, this works. And that remedies a lot that's been causing health problems in the form of stress and just emotional pressure and things that you've been sorting through that have been really heavy for you, okay? So you might be calling in some outside assistance around that. If you felt like things haven't been very healthy at home in terms of the dynamic between the two of you, or even within a family dynamic where just the communication's been off, something's needed to be adjusted here, that may be the solution, like pulling in somebody who's neutral, like somebody who's not part of the family, somebody who's not part of the friendship circle, and getting some mediation in here. But it does look like there's health being restored in a home, in a family. And so this looks really good too. To me, it has more to do with people really feeling like they're being heard, like they're being understood, and somebody who's able to facilitate this healing. Look, with the Three of Cups. See, so this might be a case of bringing in a third person here that's neutral, okay? That's not connected to this drama, and that will be the right trick. But I do love seeing this here with the Three of Cups. This is healing. This is beautiful. For those of you that are looking to start a family, 56 on the clock, coming in with that 11 energy, there may be some things that you need to balance out in order for the pregnancy to really take hold. This may have something to do with creating more stability, more calm at home, okay? There could be, for those of you that are already parents, you may have been concerned about the health of a child, and I do feel like something is getting ironed out here. If there's something going on with your child where you feel like they're holding a lot in emotionally, you're not sure why they're acting out, it may be time to get them some counseling where the child doesn't feel like they have to hold everything inside because they might upset one of the parents or one of the siblings. Okay, so there could be like a dynamic coming in here. But I do feel like whatever this is, it balances things out. And this is a really good move to make, really good partnership. And it's bringing some kind of balance and healing into the home space. I also feel like you're in your position of emotional strength. You're making wise choices too in terms of your health. And I feel like you're taking charge of your health more on all levels, mind, body, spirit. You're not letting somebody else sort of call the shots here. And there is somebody that you're partnering with here, and this is a good partnership in terms of, it could be like a personal trainer you're hiring, or it could be somebody who's like putting together some kind of daily regimen for you that works in the holistic healthcare field, or they could be a brand new practitioner. But I love this, like your health is really good. And if your health has been compromising your ability to generate income because you've been feeling really run down, you've had to, take time off, I do feel like there's recovery here, there's restoration here. I feel like your strength is coming back, and this is a pregnancy card too. So like I said, if you've really been wanting to start a family, the problem could have been stress, okay? And needing to really create a more calm space at home, also to relax a little bit more around it, which may require you to have more time just to yourself and not with all the pressure, especially if you told people that you're wanting to start a family and then you have people say, are you pregnant yet? That can be really hard, okay? Yeah, that can be really hard. There could be that somebody has been dealing with some kind of health condition where they weren't sure what was going on. It did create financial loss. Okay, I can see that. There could have been some financial loss, just not being able to work, trying to find a solution. I feel like you've really been wanting a solution here. You've been wanting to know the truth. What is going on? Like, something's going on. Something feels off, okay? The High Priestess, it's like intuitively, you know that there's something off. There's something off about the approach. There's something off about the diet. There's something off about the protocol. There's something off around the person you're working with, okay? And there's something that you do need to discover here, but I do see you being successful with that, okay? So ultimately, you're going to take a new direction in terms of your health. You're closing out an old cycle here. You may have a brand new health team you're working with, and I think it's going to be just the right fit here. There may be some indication for some of you that you might have to go through some kind of operation that might require you to have some time off from work, or there might be maternity leave here for some of you. You could be worried about your finances, but I feel like don't worry about that. The help will be there when you need it, and you'll bounce back financially too, okay? But in general, this is a really good card when it comes to health. This is like having your vitality. It's also looking really good, having somewhat of a glow up energy. So I like this for you, okay? Very positive. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. I don't know. I really feel like sticking with this deck for you right now. So let's just continue on through and look at big successes and wins coming in for Gemini in 2026. Big successes and wins coming in for Gemini in 2026. Tell me where Gemini is going to experience the success and the big wins in their life in 2026. Where are these moments of success going to come through? And this can be in any area of life. It doesn't just have to do with business. It's anything that you're going to feel like, yeah, I did that, you know? Anything you feel really good about, anything you rise above, anything that makes you feel like, okay, got that taken care of, on to the next, all right? I mean, look at that. So your big success comes from being willing to go your own way, being willing to trust yourself and what you know is true, and to explore with the Hermit energy here. Shine your own light forward. And you have a lot of knowledge here, and you need to trust when you feel called to head in a certain direction, even though other people may try to raise doubt within you. You know what you're doing here, okay? So trust yourself. Trusting yourself will bring you lots of success and your big wins in 2026. It's those times when you allow yourself to really trust your own wisdom, your own discernment in a situation, and your own inspiration for the direction you want to head in, okay? Your big success could also involve finally completing a karmic cycle too. It may require you step out on your own, and initially the stretch of road may be a little bit lonely as you move forward, but eventually it is the seed of what will become your victory, okay? There's something where you win big in breaking off from the pack and going your own way. It will be a wise gamble you're making here, okay? There's also a lot of wisdom you've gained in closing out these old karmic cycles. You've learned a lesson. You don't need to learn it again. You're taking the light of that wisdom forward with you on the road ahead, okay? 3 things coming in here. Let me see what's on the basis of the matter. Whew! My goodness, man. This is the year you step into your power. For real. You are taking action. You're moving individually. You're bringing your fire forward. Okay? I like this. It's good. Oh, you're armed with the truth and you're acting on the truth. You're going to really see this come through soon. All right? You're going to have confirmation that you saw the truth in this situation and you exercised wise discernment, that you clearly, accurately have arrived at your answer. And this is going to come through before spring's on the scene. So there's some decisive action you are taking here. You got another ace. I mean, you've had the Ace of Wands, the Ace of Pentacles, and now you got an Ace of Swords. So this is also you issuing some kind of communication that puts the power back in your hands. And it is the seed of your victory. So this might be something you're contemplating here. How do I issue a particular communication? Yes, because you're up in your head about it right now. But I do see that you're going to get the answers you need, and you're going to free yourself from this prison of the mind. You're going to have the answers you need. You're going to act on them. There's some decisive choice you're making here. It cuts off this confusion. You get out of your head. You move into action. It's the right judgment call. It brings you some kind of success, and look at that. You have healing. You cleanse away the old cycle with the star, and now you're going to move into a time where you're really going to find your cup gets filled, and this is you aligning with your north node. So it's beautiful the way it came out with that hermit energy, because Virgo, represented by the hermit, is down in the south node right now, and this is you actually finally pouring out all the energy of the old cycle. You've had enough reflection time. You're setting this in motion. You've healed, you've integrated, you've got the answers you need, and now you're going to start to see the light coming back into your life. It's really beautiful. So there's some kind of date with destiny that's coming here for you pretty soon. Once you free yourself from a holding pattern, I mean, it puts you in your power. I don't know what to say. This date with destiny could be with an Aries for some of you, or somebody who really does know how to hold their power, right? And this could be somebody you're teaming forces with too. And it's a winning combination here. You're meant to connect with this person. This person may also introduce you to a whole new community of people. And this brings in the start of a new cycle for you. It's good. Really good energy here. Let me do a cut of the deck and see what we got. But it does require you knowing when to turn down an offer that just doesn't fit the bill, and when it's time to stop reflecting on something that was a disappointment, so you can unblock yourself from receiving what wants to come in for you. Because I do feel like there is an Ace of Cups that wants to come in here for you, but you're kind of closed off to it right now because you're still brooding about something and it's got you all up in your head. But once you see it and you do this final like emotional cleansing here, you will recognize the truth. It makes things very clear. You get out of your head, you take the action, and that's when your star comes into view. So it's a very positive energy. And there's the Emperor there again, man. Wow. Woo! And on the bottom of the deck, Temperance. You finally strike the right balance. Could be concerning a Sagittarius too. This does all boil down to the right timing, okay? It's about the right things syncing up. And you will know, because once you start to head into this flow where you're arriving at this point of this date with destiny, where you're really linking up with your north node, you're going to start to see those synchronicities, 888, 1111, you know, and other signs are going to come through. You're going to have the signposts that let you know, okay, it's go time, right? It's go time. You see, the path to your destiny opens up, and you straighten your crown. You arrive at that crowning hour. There's a lot of this like crown imagery that's coming through here, and this real overcoming something that maybe at one point, you know, snatch that crown off your head. Or I could see that as crown, like your own judgment, your own idea about things. Maybe there were too many people plugged into your crown, you know, too many other people's opinions, wants, needs, desires, what they thought you should do. And I think you're really taking back your inner authority here, and it looks so good, man. So there's big transformation in store here for you. Characters that could be playing a role in this transformation: Sagittarius, Aquarius. We did have Leo rising come in earlier. Aries is there. Okay, any of these characters could be playing a significant role in this. This could also point to people that are, you know, good people to sort of team forces with too, for your big success, your big win. If you're wondering, who should I pull in on this business opportunity? You know, maybe look to an Aries, okay? Look to an Aquarius. They think outside of the box, right? Look to a Sagittarius. That might be the clue. That might be the winning ticket there. So do look for the right kinds of partnerships that can get you where you want to go coming into view here too, all right? Do I want to stick with this? I want to stick with this. Okay, I want to see what your power move is. What is Gemini's power move for 2026? What is Gemini's power move for 2026? What's coming in as Gemini's power move in 2026? Whoa. Separate yourself from anything that is coming through as disrespects your heart. Separate yourself from anything that's not true to your heart. Have the courage to defer instant gratification and go your own way, because this is what leads you to victory. How many times has the Six of Wands come out for you? You're overcoming heartache here. You're overcoming delays here. You have the strength to rise above the challenges of the past. This could be connected to a Leo. You're tempering something here. There's something that you've mastered here. You've balanced this out and you're doing your victory lap. I don't know what to say. I've never seen the Six of Wands come out so many times in a reading. You're overcoming something that really wounded your heart. You're rising above it, and because you finally integrated all this heavy energy, this is what is ending the delays. Now your heart is going to be ready to receive what wants to come through for you. And there's something about this, to me, it's coming through as a point of vindication where people are really going to see the way your life has been transformed when you pulled yourself out of certain situations. And that may be communication enough, just the way that came through, right? It might not be so much about you like defending yourself, stating your case. It might be more about show them. Show them what you're working with. Take the action. Separate yourself from anything that dishonors your heart, okay? Anything that keeps you in this cycle of pain or having to do without or having to clamp down those areas of your life that you really want to open up to and explore because of how it makes others feel, their resistance around it. This is you really cutting yourself off from anything that keeps you from embodying your heart space and what really resonates for you. And the proof will be in the pudding. It will just be evident when people see you, you know, making your victory lap here. They'll be like, wow, okay. And notice, you know, they're holding that Ace of Wands. So there's something about in the fall, this really comes through. It's really evident, you know, and you may have felt like your heart was separated from what it desired, but you're going to see how you're going to be rewarded here for having the strength to overcome the challenges of the past, and not just overcoming it, but the way you did it, not with force, not with aggression, but really just mastering yourself, really owning your own peace and things and moving forward. It's coming through with a lot of eloquence. There's something about the way you communicate too, like not allowing yourself to get too heated. There might have been times in the past when you may have gotten really heated, and there's something here that you've tempered too, okay? I think people are really going to see the change in you, but this is your power move. Let's get a cut of the deck on that. Healing, celebration. I mean, I think this is going to be acknowledged. All right. Bam. Wish fulfillment here. I love it. This is so good for you. This is so good for you. And in some cases, you were in a situation where you were made to feel like you were the outsider. You were the wrench in the works. Like this could have been a dynamic of like kind of like a third party situation. And that can be in any area of life, okay? It can be in friendships. It can be in the band you were in. It can be in a romantic relationship. It can be in a business arrangement. In some way, you felt like you kind of got ousted here, or you were sort of made to be the problem in a situation. And so you're like, fine, you know, I'm going to go my own way. And you get wish fulfillment here. You get gratification here. You got more than enough. This is like your cup's really full. So I like this energy for you. That's your power move. Invest in you. What do you want? It seems like you've been thinking about what other people want a whole lot here. What do you want? It's your turn. What do you want? All right, I'm being called to bring out the archangels here. So let's bring out the Archangel Tarot. And we're going to look at what unexpected developments are coming your way in 2026. What unexpected developments are coming Gemini's way in 2026? What unexpected developments are coming Gemini's way in 2026? What unexpected developments are coming Gemini's way in 2026? What do they not see coming? What is developing unexpectedly for Gemini in 2026? All right, let's check it out. Oh my God. Nine of Raphael, it's that Nine of Cups energy, wish fulfillment. Ooh, you've earned favor. You've earned favor with spirit. Your wish is their command. I love it. So yes, go after your dreams, because this is the year. What you may not realize, no matter how far-fetched a particular dream of yours may be, this is your year that dream becomes your reality. You're about to head into a really celebratory time in your life. You may even take a trip somewhere. You may travel somewhere you've always wanted to go. There could also be a wish you have about a pet that's very dear to you, or maybe you want to get a dog, okay? You're having the right furry baby arrive on your path, okay? May come through in quite an unexpected way. Ooh, Knight of Gabriel coming in here. I think also what's unexpected is that you're going to be feeling very confident, enthusiastic, and a lot more bold and daring, a lot more courageous than you have been in the past to head in certain directions. And you got some Riz working for you, okay? Very charismatic at this time. You're bringing your fire forward in a big way. And soon it's going to be time for you to take action in the direction of your passions. And there's a cause you got here. Some may say you're a rebel without a cause, but you're like, no, there is a method to what may appear my madness. I know exactly what I'm doing here. You're moving forward very instinctively, and it has everything to do with what you intuitively sense here. And you ain't wrong, because you are being divinely guided. And I feel like this is just really bringing all those best aspects of fire forward for you. So do look where you got fire in your chart. Where do you have Aries, Leo, Sagittarius in your chart? Pull from that energy. What planet is in that sign, you know, in your chart? Pull from that energy. What house is it in? What's going on in your first house for Aries, or your fifth house for Leo, or your ninth house for Sagittarius? Pull from those energies, because that is really what is going to activate this fire within you. Let's see what we got here. Yeah, I mean, this is what you really may not see right now, because I do feel like you've been in your head a little bit. You're still sorting some stuff out. It is going to become clearer. There is something you're taking a final bow with. There is a curtain coming down on a certain stage in your life with the Ten of Michael here. There is a situation that's ended. Something has come to a close. and you're finally going to cut yourself free from it. But beyond just physically cutting yourself free, I feel like you're also leaving behind the disappointment that's been connected with that experience. There's new opportunities up ahead for you. These new opportunities are going to really help you put the past behind you because they're more aligned with where you're looking to go. And where you've been looking to find the magic in your life, it will be discovered here. Something's going to come in and light you up and turn around these disappointments. But it does really require that you're honest about what you feel, what works for you, what doesn't. And as soon as you make those choices, I do feel like you'll feel more bold. You'll feel more daring. Your charisma comes back. You feel like, yeah, I'm back to my old self, okay? So this is good. It is really good energy. You got wish fulfillment here. That's all I know. Keeps coming through. Judgment. There's new beginnings up ahead for you. So something is going through a radical state of transformation. I also feel like you're not going to be alone for long on the road. You're coming into alignment with new people, but this is the start of a brand new life for you in 2026. You're really connecting with your sense of purpose, and you're also allowing yourself to take the time you need to properly close out the past. I do see you releasing it, letting it go, and coming into a place of compassion. It might take a little time as you're reviewing everything that went down, but you will get there. And this secures new beginnings for you. Again, this could be connected to a Sagittarius with judgment coming out there. And this is your justice. So Libra energy coming in here, coming in with 8, which it's interesting because in some decks, 8 represents justice, and in some it represents strength. So I do feel like it took strength to arrive at this point of balance since you already had strength come out. But this is something that's balancing out in your life. Things will balance out fairly in this situation. And where you know something ain't right and where something has been unfair, stand up for what's right. Strike the balance here. You do have strength on your side, judgment on your side. If you're dealing with any kind of legal negotiations or sorting through anything that requires mediation, there will be a judgment in your favor with this. I do see you coming out ahead. All of these rulings will be made in your favor. Actually, it even says that right there on the card, rulings in your favor. So do not give up because you're about to get to the other side of something that's been really rough, and it's what gives you the horsepower to move forward into this new territory that looks like alignment with wish fulfillment. I mean, you really can't go wrong there, man. That's some good energy coming in for you. Seems pretty good. Should we stick with this? Yeah, let's stick with this. Let's stick with the archangels a little bit. What is your good fortune? I mean, all of that sounds like... It sounds like good fortune to me. It's all kind of blending together here for you. It's sort of like a common theme coming through. I think that's sort of like the overarching energy of 2026 for you, Gemini, is that you're going to experience unexpected good fortune. So I think maybe you've been feeling like you've been dealing with more rough hand of fate than you've seen things coming to fruition for you. But wow, once you take this action that needs to be taken before spring's on the scene, you'll really start to see how everything begins to turn around. And it might involve cutting something off or bringing forward some kind of decisive communication, or signing something, signing a contract, or getting yourself out of contract. Okay, it's got the swords energy around it with the Ace of Swords coming through. Acting on an idea, you know, acting on an inspiration, bringing it into reality. So any final details about good fortune for Gemini? Because it looks like there's a lot of good fortune on the scene for you. 7 of Gabriel. Again, it's talking about you standing up for yourself. Stand up for what is right for you. Stand up for what you believe in. And, you know, invoke a little bit of confidence here. This is really all about you stepping into your personal sense of power. It gives you wings, man. It gives you horsepower. It gets you where you need to go. You've already achieved higher ground. I do feel like you've been through some kind of storm here, but already the promise of what's on the other side is starting to peek through. So pay attention. You'll see the signs of good fortune that's about to come in for your leap of faith, okay? So there is something that you're having to do here that does require you to take a leap of faith, but you'll like where you land. And look at that. It flips over right middle of the deck. You got the wheel of fortune here. So yes, there's a judgment in your favor. Things are turning around here. Again, there could be a Sagittarius connected to this, fixed sign connected to this, Taurus, Aquarius, Leo, Scorpio. All I know is this is your year where the delays end. Got nothing but new beginnings up ahead, and there's a change in direction that's actually getting you to a place in your life where you can finally like sit and say, this is happiness. And I don't know why. I got like almost an impression like that. I got the impression of somebody like sitting on a porch and just kind of like surveying everything that's around them and saying, yeah, this is it. This is happiness. 7 of Raphael is what's on the other side of this before the wheel can turn, okay? So you might be kind of like sorting through things, sorting through your options at this time, but the time is drawing really near when you're going to have to make a decision. You need to be clear on what you want and then take action. There is a need for you to detoxify here. There is a need for you to release something here, cleanse something from your life. I also think it's like cleanse away the illusion, cleanse away the ambiguity, and take action. Once you're really aware of what your heart wants, it will work out in your favor, okay? Beautiful energy. Spiritual guidance. Stick with this. Okay, we're going to stick with the angels. So you got some angels on the outfield. Archangels are coming in really strongly for you. You may feel like a real connection to the angelic realm, and if you haven't, you may start to feel a real connection with the angelic realm. So just to cap this off for you, spiritual guidance for Gemini in 2026, Spirit. Spiritual guidance for Gemini in 2026. What is the spiritual guidance you have for Gemini in 2026? One more. Okay. Oh, beautiful. 6 of Raphael. So this is like soulmate energy. There's somebody you're connecting with here, and I think you're going to feel like they're quite a catch. There could be a connection that goes back to the past. This could be somebody you were with long ago. This could be somebody who sort of wakes up a very young part of you. You could even be reconnecting with somebody that's a friend you haven't seen in ages, but you just feel a real sense of affinity with this person. There's soul recognition there. You've been separated from this person for quite some time. I like this. So there is some kind of rekindled relationship here. And there's also the sense of new friends coming in. So there's like new community energy. And if you are rekindling a relationship here, this connection goes like way back. There's deep roots with this connection. Or there could be something about this person that they wake up, a very young part of you, you know? Maybe that's what's being rekindled, like you're rekindling the relationship with who you were long ago before like all the troubles and hardships and stresses of the world sort of like dampened your fire, like you're recovering this part of you. It's really beautiful. There's also something about children coming through that plays a key role here. Or childhood itself, okay? But this is coming through with the energy of sweetness and nostalgia. So there's something beautiful happening here where if you have a child, you've been worried about your child. I think you're experiencing more closeness in your connection. You're creating more space to pour into time with your children. And also I feel like where you've been doing a lot of healing work around childhood, there's something here that is getting resolved, and it's just allowing you to open yourself up, maybe to a very special friendship or a very special romantic connection that wouldn't have been possible until you did this healing work. Okay, so that's beautiful. Any other spiritual guidance that you have for Gemini archangels? Any other spiritual guidance that you have for Gemini archangels? Oh, wow. Okay. Whew. All right, interesting. I mean, it's really wanting you to know that the Wheel of Fortune is about to turn for you. There are new beginnings up ahead. There may have been delays, but those are about to come to an end. And don't fear these changes because they're leading you in the direction of your happiness. And with this, we have 9 of Ariel as a crossing energy. So that's that 9 of Pentacles energy. There is happiness on the other side of the storm. You're not here yet. You got to cross the bridge first, you know. There is something you need to release so you can get to this good stuff. But this is the year, again, it's saying that your dreams are fulfilled. Your hard work is going to be paid off. It's going to lead to a lot of success. So if you feel like, man, I've just been grinding my gears. I've been working really hard. I've been putting in the time. I've been doing all the healing. I've been doing all the releasing. And I just feel like I'm just here sitting in all of the collateral damage of all of that. No, it's going to be cleared out, okay? And I think that there's a lot of beautiful things that are about to filter into your reality in 2026 that's going to give you just a real deep, it's coming through as profound appreciation for life and everything it took to get to this arrival point. Even all the rough stuff, even all the stuff you had to let go of. I don't think that you see it right now because right now you feel really hung up in that like hangman energy. This could be related to just struggling a little bit to release the hold of an old karmic cycle that's coming to a close. I mean, I think this is really heavy. You may have been trying to hold on to a situation. You may have been trying your best to revive it or to heal it, but there is something here about needing to get into your own energy. That's very important. There is a better way to move forward, but I just think you don't see it yet. So you need to create this space to kind of pull back from other people so you can get back in your own energy. You need more time for reflection so you can get centered into your own intuitive knowing, feelings, insights, and awareness around what your heart really wants, okay? It's also the time when you need to dare to be different, okay? So a little bit of that boldness coming in here. You got to go against the grain. You can't follow the crowd here. And yeah, I mean, I think what's been hard for you with the 10 of Raphael in reverse, this is some committed relationship or some hope for ending in a situation that just, you know, it's just not turning out that way. This is not where your happiness lies. And it may have at one point, but there's something new up ahead. And right now you might just really be grappling with the loss of, I mean, it feels like what you lost here. For a lot of you, it's somebody that you loved very, very deeply, okay? And you may feel like there is nobody else that can ever take that space in your life. You may have struggled with a lot of fallout with people that you're very close to, that you've always felt close to, that you thought would always be there. And this is like really understanding that where that happily ever after seems like it turned out in the worst way possible, because there is something here that you really just like, you're like, how did this happen? You know, there's a little bit of a feeling of being a bit jaded, you know, really disappointed and hurting over the loss of somebody very dear to your heart. Something's transformed here, you know, and it's okay. You know, it takes time to process grief. It takes time to integrate difficult experiences. Some of you may have even had a loved one pass. And it's hard. You're mourning the loss, and you need to give yourself time to do that. But there is this piece that's come through quite often in your read about if you've really been grappling with something for a while and it's just keeping you in your head, and you have reached out to certain people, and the support they've been able to offer you is coming from their own, point of understanding, and it hasn't been helpful, and you're finding it difficult to pull yourself out of this space. It may be time to go get some support. Go get some support from a support group, or go and get some counseling. Go somewhere where there's not sort of the biases and entrenched opinions. There might be some outside assistance that you can pull in at this time that can help you sort of sort through what's been complicated and make things very clear and direct and simple, okay? Because there's something major that you are closing out here. And we do have the Page of Michael coming in. So this is like that Page of Swords energy. And yeah, I mean, you've dealt with some deception here with the owl medicine coming in here. And there's been a lot of shadowy stuff that you've been sorting through that's kind of been hanging over you. But I do feel like you're going to arrive at the truth. You're going to have clearer perception about the strategy you need to put in play moving forward. There's something you're analyzing here, but when you arrive at the truth, it's not something that's going to come through like softly. It's going to come through in a very blunt, direct way that just cuts through all the ambiguity. And it really is that awakening moment when you have the answers you need that lets you know exactly what you need to do. The challenge before you, it may seem daunting to step into a whole new storyline here, but see if you can tap into the excitement of it, because there are a lot of things up ahead that are going to fill you with enthusiasm. And despite what you may think, because it seems like maybe your confidence has been rocked a little bit, you have what it takes to succeed in this situation. And again, when it comes to signing something, because that came through, documents, contracts, anything of this nature, review everything thoroughly, because whatever you sign off on here, it's set in place for the long haul. So this can be even signing a lease on a new place, or, signing off on an expenditure. Okay, so whatever this is, just make sure you're thoroughly reviewing it. And I think you'll like the way that things turn out here for you, okay? Painful time in your life is coming to a close. You're at the last stages of it, Gemini, right? Things are going to get a lot more thrilling up ahead in the best way, okay? Let's get you some numbers of significance here to cap this off. We got Life Path 2, Life Path 3. Life Path 3 coming in pretty strongly here. Also Life Path 6 coming in. Life Path 6, this could be somebody that, you team forces with, and it's just like dynamic duo energy. You two share really good communication. You share a common vision. Okay. We also have Life Path 4, Life Path 2, Life Path 7, Life Path 8. Any of these characters could be playing a role. Gemini, your energy is coming in very strongly here. You may also be connecting with another Gemini that you're teaming forces with, somebody who gets you. Okay. And you may be teaming with another Gemini or getting the ball rolling on some communication to put like a new foundation in place. This could have something to do with your home or something to do with your future security here. It has something to do with balancing something out. There may be certain details that you're unaware of right now. You need to do a little research as you head into this area before you issue certain communications as well. I feel like there's a lot that's going down for you. It's go time in February and March. February and March are really key months for you in the opening of the year. whatever's set in motion in February and March, you really see the result of that come June. And then I feel by August, it's like really anchored down here. Really anchored down here. There's some kind of blessing that comes in at that time. In fact, summer looks really good. I have to say June, July, August. That's when you really see the way something's moved forward. You feel more enthusiastic about your future. What you set in motion in February and March, it really comes to its place of manifestation. Some type of risk that you pull off here, it does lead to big success. It does increase your stability. It increases your finances, and something is the manifestation of your dreams. I got like, I'm hearing, I'm hearing that C note right now. So usually for me, that's something that comes in when there's like real spiritual alignment coming in here. So I do feel like you're being guided as you make these changes. There is some like high priestess energy coming through here. Okay. So you could be dealing with a water sign, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. We got the third house, your house, Gemini. Your communications are really important here. You may be branching out into the field of communications as well. Communications could have something to do with your work. So you might be having a stronger social media presence. You might be taking something online. You may be developing some online business, or your voice, something you have to share, may play an important role in your dreams. Okay. You may have a story to tell. You may have a song to sing. Okay. There could be something you're creating here. I also have Leo factoring strongly in here. I have Virgo energy coming in here a lot. Can be brought into balance by getting a grasp of your daily routine and habits and addressing what feels off there. You know, can make things function more smoothly too, can lead you to a lot of success. We got the month of March and April coming in very strongly in relation to that. There could be an Aries connected to this, a Taurus connected to this. March and April could be a time when you really strike out in relation to your business endeavors with an idea of your own. And there's something here that it hits the mark, man. And it's go time with that. There's like a lot of traction with this, forward progression with this. It brings in some kind of bounty, some kind of blessings. And you finally feel like, yeah, this is my track. This is the path I belong on. It feels really good to you. We also got some Libra energy here. So this could be like forging new partnerships as well. Got some Aquarian energy in the mix here. Piscean energy. Okay, those are all the characters I see on the board. Let me get some messages for you. These can act as signposts and synchronicities for you in 2026. Your name may come through. If your name comes through, it's just highlighting other messages that come through. Also just telling you to pay attention to these synchronicities and signposts that come out. If there's names that come through that you don't recognize, these could be people that cross your path in 2026 and they play a key role. So just open up to the experience. Sometimes macrocosmic stuff comes through. I mean, our current president is a Gemini, so the energy could kind of filter in here too, so just be aware of that. That might be something you're really keeping an eye on right now, the political scene, and just seeing how things are rolling out. That might also be influencing some of the moves you're making. Okay. I see Dow Jones kind of coming through. In relation to this, there might be something about playing the stock market that's coming through. I do think you're looking at totals here in terms of your finances. And I do think there's something you're cashing out on, okay? You might be taking some calculated financial risks. You may be watching the stock market. That may be something you're getting a little bit more involved with at this time. I also got Loa, okay? So that's within the Voodoo tradition. So I don't know if you know some high priestesses that work within that tradition, or you may be working within that tradition. You may be connecting more with your spirituality and finding a lot of support through that. Okay, let's see here. I do see the energy of a baby coming through here. Okay, so there could be a child of significance. There could be an unexpected pregnancy. If you don't want to conceive, make sure you're using protection. I also have, I'm going to bring it through. I got VD coming through here. So again, be careful. You know, if you're going to go out there, if you're going to have some fun, if you're going to enjoy hooking up for a while and just exploring your sensuality, make sure you're using protection, because not everybody is honest out there about what's going on with them. Just protect yourself, okay? Just protect yourself, especially if, you know, it feels a little sus and you're like, I don't know if I'm ready for this. If you just energetically feel like, I don't know if I want to connect with this person at this time. I also don't think there's anything wrong with when it comes to you and another coming together. If you say, hey, why don't we both get tested? Let's make sure we both have a clean bill of health. That can forge a lot of trust within connections. That might be something that, you know, you want to bring in. In the cases where you've dealt with a situation where you were dealing with a partner, maybe you had some time apart from each other, you both were playing the field, that might be something you need to bring in just to kind of like quell any fears, any concerns, and opening up to an intimate connection again. I do feel like this year is really lit for you. Like there's a lot, like fire is really forward for you this year. And it feels like something's really lit up in you, like your energy is coming back and you're feeling a sense of enthusiasm moving forward here. There's more kind of this daring energy that's coming through for you. And I like that for you. We got a lot of N's coming out here. Like there are a lot of N's on the board. So let me see some N names that may be factoring into your situation. I got the name Nia. I got the name Nadine. I got NA here too. So you may be dealing with some people in recovery, and with that comes out DA, District Attorney. So there could be somebody that gets into some kind of legal trouble because of addiction. And there's some kind of charges that are brought up, and part of the process may involve them having to go into some kind of treatment program, okay? And with that, I got the name Lola. It also reminds me of that song Lola. There could be a connection there. There's also something here about you may have been used to working like during the day, and your work may shift more to the night. Okay, especially if you're doing something independent, or you might take up a night shift. Or some of your best work is done at night. I see us here, okay? So I don't think that you're going to be like on your own for long, where you're leaving a relationship. I do feel like you are coming together with somebody here. We got a lot of L's here too. So there could be an L connection with somebody you're coming together with here. It's interesting because as I say that, I see Lot, which makes me think of Lot's wife, who turns around and looks at what's being left behind and turns into a pillar of salt. Okay, so there's something here about once you step away from something that it looks like it's done, okay? And it could have ended in sort of a dramatic way. Don't look back. Okay, you gotta keep moving forward here. You'll understand why things went down the way they did down the road. There's something about this person that you're connecting with is tall. Okay, I don't know why that's significant, but whoever you're going to be partnering with, like it looks like somebody of significance, somebody you have soul recognition with. This person's tall, okay? They're not short, they're tall. I got the name Tony with that, Tina, Donna, Dana, Dan, Donnell, Dimitri, Darius. A lot was coming through there. Whoever this person is, they're a ton of fun. Okay, so I like that for you. I feel like where you've been dealing with like some heavy energy, this person's just bringing a ton of fun into your life. You're gonna have a good time with this person. They're gonna be your baby. Yeah, that's what I got. They're gonna be your baby. And I got California coming in with that. We also got Wyoming connection there too. Okay. There could be an Atlanta connection as well. Seeing some places of significance coming through. Washington State as well. Indiana. Los Angeles. Louisiana. South Bay. South Beach. Got the name Lenora. 2. Okay. All I know is you're cutting off the BS this year. You're making up your own mind about something. Something is being vetoed. Could be someone named Vito. Vito is vetoed. We're not going down that road anymore. We're going down a whole new direction. I've seen through Vito's BS, man. If your name is Vito, maybe somebody thinks you're full of it. Maybe you're like, it's fine. I'm fine with vetoing that as well, okay? Interesting. Okay. Weird. I got the name Wilhelmina coming through. That's a really unusual name. It always kind of strikes me funny when certain names come on through. All right. That's what I got for you. Looks like you're getting to the very tail end of some really rough stuff, but man, you got so many good things coming into view. So allow yourself to open up to that perspective and be ready to take a risk, because it's going to pay off, man. It's going to pay off. This is the year that your wishes come true. It's all about you. Godspeed, Gemini.